learn a basic set of ground rules of techniques which are basically to support the other person but also to intervene in any negative patterns that they may have. So it is different to having a conversation where you may actually be more colluding with somebody's negative thoughts in an everyday sort of way, but the techniques are designed to break out of those kind of negative patterns. And the time is divided equally, 50-50, between the client and the counsellor, which means that you get to be both, which I find very empowering. It's not like I go as a client with a lot of problems and unburden myself. It's more of an equal exchange, and I think that in itself is just very good for self-esteem.
What happens in a co-counselling session?
Well, the idea is that it's a very simple concept. It's a bit like what friends have done for each other for millennia, but it's a bit more formalised. So it's about saying, I'm going to listen to you for a while, and you agree to listen to me for a similar period of time. And although that sounds very simple, it's simple to say, but not so easy to do. So there are various ways in which that can be made more explicit and help people to keep to those ideas using this very, very precious thing called free attention, which all human beings have, and it's a question of tapping into that.
You are both counsellor and counsellee. You counsel, in effect, you counsel yourself. So it's you giving therapy to yourself. So it's finding the skills within you to be your own therapist. It's peer directed. So there's nobody there's people who've got more experience, but once you've done the 40 hours basic training, the fundamentals as they're called, then you're a fully fledged co-counsellor. That's all you need to do. And then you have a huge range of activities that you can take part in worldwide, from New Zealand to USA to Hungary to Britain to Ireland, Scotland.
The principle is that two people swap time, that they both have an equal level of skills and an equal understanding of the principles and approaches and ideas, and they take turns to work on their own material. And when you are the client, the person who's talking, you choose what you want to work on, and you choose how you want your counsellor to behave, what you want them to say and everything, and it's entirely up to you what you do with that time, which makes it very different from any other kind of counselling or therapy or self-development work, where normally the other person is the expert and has the agenda and sort of directs you.
It works by agreeing an amount of time that you'll each spend equally, and agreeing how much interventions, for use that is the right word, I can't think of a better way of explaining it, that you want the other person, so how much just listening you need or how much help you need with your stuff. You agree all of that before you start, and then when it's your turn to be a client, it involves you working through whatever you choose to, using the things that you've been taught on the fundamentals as tools for working through it. And your counsellor, who's done the fundamentals as well, will also use those tools as and when it feels like the right time, if you've asked them to. And hopefully between the two of you, but your responsibility is for yourself, you will work through it somehow, so you're in a different place than you were at the beginning with that particular problem. And it might mean that you need to carry on with that on another day, but you will have learned something and feel a bit less stuck. And then you swap, and the other person, you support the other person in doing that for themselves. Well, it depends how much time you've got, and you would split it equally between you, perhaps with individually saying, I'd like this much time at the end to sort of wrap it up. You know, that's sort of specific, but it's so that you maintain an equality about it, so not one person is more not needy, perhaps that's not the right word, more demanding than the other one. You're supporting each other in an equal way.
Does anyone get paid?
No, nobody gets paid.
You pair up with someone, or you could work within a group. You all take equal time to speak. Before you start speaking, you decide what kind of contract you want. You might want the other person to offer interventions, to give you clues about maybe how they perceive you. Maybe you're getting stuck in what you're talking about, and they can offer a range of interventions, such as say, repeat that, or exaggerate that, or does this remind you of anything? So you can choose those interventions, or you can just have the other person's attention, and then you can work on whatever you want.